What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire, as always. Spitting the hot topics, getting the sports conversation started. Need to get on the subject of Russell Westbrook and the Los Angeles Lakers. Is it his fault that the Lakers are bad right now? I think a lot of people seem to think that. What's the real reason, or do we know? Let's get into it. So, for those that do not know, the Los Angeles Lakers are actually, even though they have an 8-7 record, so they're just hovering over the 500 mark. Not good for a team that's supposed to be loaded, maybe has the most talent on it that LeBron James has ever had on a team that he's been on. When you just look at the raw talent around the squad, I know some of the guys are a little older, but they still got some talented guys on the top half of that roster, and they got veteran leadership, and they deep for real. So why are they 8-7 is the question. And a lot of people would point to the fact that Russell Westbrook is just a problem. You can't win a championship with Russell Westbrook. At least that's been the narrative, right? And now he gets to the Lakers, and they starting off 8-7, and we looking at them like, what they gonna do? I'm here to let you know the Lakers are actually top 10 right now, just so you know, in scoring. So meaning number of points they putting up per game as a team. Top 10. Also, field goal percentage. Top 10. Now, when you look at shooting, their three-point percentage is not in the top 10. And their free throw percentage is near the bottom. They're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the league. On top of that, turnover-wise, they right at the top of the league. One of the worst, if not the worst, in turnovers per game. And they happen to have the guy on their team, Mr. Russell Westbrook, that has the highest turnover rate per game in NBA history. I saw a stat that said Russell Westbrook, if he was to have 0 turnovers, 0 for the rest of the season, he would still lead the NBA in all-time turnovers per game. That's crazy, right? What if I told you, though? What if I told you that Magic Johnson was number 2 on all-time turnovers per game? He was a pretty quality player. He was a winner, right? He was a leader. So why do we look at that turnover rate so much and draw so much attention to Russell Westbrook is the question we need to be asking. Russell Westbrook himself is averaging 8 assists. He's among the league leaders. But again, he does lead the league in turnovers per game, not just for his career, but currently right now leading the league in turnovers per game. But the Lakers also, their pace is up. Every team Russell Westbrook goes to, their pace goes from middle of the pack or bottom up to top 10, top 5, sometimes best in the league, because he makes people bring more effort. Because you got to bring effort if you're playing with Russell, because he's diving all over the floor and doing everything he can to affect winning, even though some of the things he does affects losing. So where do we point the finger? In a few of these games where LeBron James hasn't actually been playing, Russell Westbrook has had some of his best games playing just with Anthony Davis. Even the game they lost to Chicago recently, go look at Russell's numbers. He put up close to triple-double numbers, didn't have a lot of turnovers per se. It wasn't one of his 8-9 turnover type games. I think he had around 4. So for him, that's not too bad. And he was getting you buckets too. But they still lost. But did you notice I said LeBron James wasn't playing? That's what we need to talk about a little bit more. Keep in mind, it's all about team chemistry. To become great, to win championships, you got to build team chemistry. It doesn't matter if you got the most talent on your roster if they don't know how to play together. There's only one ball, and it's got to be rotated around equally. Everybody has to touch it. Look at the Golden State Warriors. They make sure everybody feel that rock. They feel like they part of their offense. Even if they ain't about to score a bucket, they get to touch it. So making sure you move that ball does matter, but also knowing guys' game, knowing who you got to set the screen for, who you need to crash the board for, where you need to be, where guys' sweet spots are so you can hit them in their shooting pocket. All those things matter. Remember when LeBron James was with the Miami Heat, they started off similar with him, D. Wade, and Bosh trying to figure it out, and him and Wade dominating the ball as much as they do. They started out around 500 or worse, and media thought that they were maybe a lost cause. Maybe the experiment wasn't going to work. And then they took off and won a lot of games in a row. Now, the difference with that team and this Lakers team, back to LeBron James. LeBron James ain't been playing. He's looking mortal right now in his career, dealing with these injuries. He used to not miss a beat, not miss many games. And if he was load managing, we knew that because he'd take a game off here, a game off there. But these extended periods of games off is new. And the fact that LeBron James has not been only available for 6 out of 15 games, I think you have to factor in as much so with Russell Westbrook as a prime reason why the Lakers aren't playing well. They're missing their leader. You got to have the best guy on the floor out there. And for Russell to learn how to work in a system with LeBron James, doesn't he need LeBron James? So I'm not saying LeBron James caused this issue directly like he wanted it to happen, but indirectly his presence or lack thereof is causing a situation where the Lakers are trying to figure this thing out, Frank Vogel and the crew. And what they're trying to figure out right now is how to survive without LeBron James, not how to integrate Russell Westbrook and LeBron James and AD together to form the chemistry they need to win. It's early in the season, y'all. We got a long way to go. I still expect the Lakers to be a top 5 seed in the playoffs, possibly a top 3. They're going to get it together because these guys want to win very, very bad. And Russell and Melo need it. You see how Melo been balling. We know it ain't Melo's fault. Melo out here hooping, looking like he might want to be 6th man of the year. So get off my man Melo. He doing his thing. And get off the Lakers for a little bit, because right now we can't really judge them with LeBron out of the game. I know y'all think Russell just a cancer, but all he really wants to do is win, and he has a hard time sometimes figuring out how to do that with the collective. But he's got the right pieces around him other than shooting. They could use a little more shooting, but they just got Tucker back. Horton Tucker, I believe his name is. He's going to bring that energy with the shooting from the outside. They got to get my guy Nunn, got to get him back. He's going to bring some shooting as well. And I'm going to get back to the fact they got to get LeBron James back. And they're going to have to work around Russell's issues such as shooting. It's not really his turnovers. Remember, Magic Johnson averaged almost as many turnovers as Russell Westbrook. The real issue, he shoots horribly from the free throw line, below 70%. And he shoots bad for a person who dominates the ball as much as he does from the field, around 42%. And he's not even shooting 30% from 3. Yet he takes 17 shots a game, which means he's hogging a lot of the shots up. And he's got the ball in his hand a lot. So I'm not saying Russ don't factor in, but let's not shift all the blame towards Mr. Russell Westbrook. And I bet y'all change y'all minds after All-Star break too. But we'll see. We'll see if I'm right, and I'll holler at y'all next time. All right, that's all the time I got. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. You looking for J Heat Sports Media on YouTube. Comment. I take the harsh criticism and the constructive criticism, all of it. Give it to me. Let's get these subscribers up. Let's get to 500 subscribers. That's a lofty goal for myself. But hey, sky's the limit, especially with y'all's support, so I appreciate it. I'm on Instagram at TheVaultJMU414, on Twitter. And of course, what's up, TikTok? Holla at y'all next time.